Hello and welcome to this new Mayastar7 features video. Today we're going to another modeling section that I think many of you will find quite useful. And I'm talking about inside the modeling section about the Open Arnold rendering tools. So let's open that one and I will dock it right there. And today we're going to take a look at the Arnold materials features. First, this section here. Okay, in other videos we're going to take a more in-depth look to this other section. We will quickly use a few features here to demonstrate the point, but yeah. So in this area, the Arnold materials features, we can create materials and save them and import the saved materials. Now it is important to note that this thing works based off the assumption that your material names use a similar or same exact naming convention that comes out from Substance suite type of software, so like Substance Designer or Substance Painter. Okay, so for this I have prepared a scene. All right. Where we have two objects with a really simple and not even well-made UV map. So if we want to take a look at it, I mean, it's really quick and dirty, but it's just to demonstrate how this thing works. So after you have carefully crafted your material in either one of the softwares in Substance Designer or Painter, we can go in and create our material. Now, to create one material with this tool, you have to put the relevant textures within its own folder with the correct name for the type of material that you want to create. And inside of that, we need to have the textures. So I'm gonna do this. So create material, it just creates a material and it's not going to attach it. So this just create an Arnold material in Maya. Create on selection instead is going to create it onto the selection. And note, this also works when we have just faces selected. Okay. So for now, I'm going to do this on the entire object like this. So create material and create on selection basically do the same thing in regard of attaching textures to the material. The only difference is that this one is not going to attach it to any object. It just leaves it there ready for assignment to whatever you want later on. And this one instead attaches it directly to your selection. So create on selection. And I'm going to my source images where I have created this main materials for videos. And in here we have three materials: Cotto tiles, bricks, and concrete. Now this is a vertical wall, so I guess bricks works pretty well. And I'm going just to click on select. Remember, this works on your folder selection. You don't have to select any image. So in here you should have all of your textures. Mine are in TGA. I did a few tests with this while I was building the feature, so we also have Arnold compiled texture, so you should not be seeing this stuff here, only the TGA the very first time you do this. So bricks, and then select, and then it asks you the normal map settings. Is this material's normal map in OpenGL format? Note, default Samsung Suite settings are on DirectX. Okay, so I did a default from there, so the normal map is DirectX. But you can change your default or on a project basis, and so if you have set it as OpenGL, just choose OpenGL. so that also these settings would be applied correctly to your material texture in here in Maya. So I'm gonna click on DirectX, and the material has been created. I will hit 6, and this is what we see here. Okay. Now, as convenience, I made the script open the hypershade so that we can begin working in there right away. And I will click on this button here that shows the materials attached to the selection. And you will see here, let me make it bigger, you will see here that the material has been already attached to everything that needs to be attached to. And also, in this case, I also had a height map, and it has created the correct the connect network for having a displacement shader working. Well, right now we don't have enough geometry or whatever. Okay, so that's fine. And we also notice that we have only one place to detexture node that controls all of the textures at once. So as you see, also in Second Life, we have something that synchronizes the changes in repetitions, rotation, and everything on all of the material textures. But Maya, by default, creates one of these nodes for each single texture. The script instead takes care of this, making automatically all of the connections. And so I'm going to make a repetition of 3, for example, like that. And you'll see that that updates accordingly. So if I do like 5, you see that it updates. Okay, so 3 and 3 are looking good. Okay, and you can also rotate. For this one, I'm going to rotate to leave it rotated so I can show you the feature for the export later, because whatever you have set, you can, you know, do your presets and stuff to reuse your materials. All right. So let's attach another material here. Okay, and for this material, this time I'm going to use one of the other materials, that's the condo tiles. So create a selection and then condo tiles. Again, DirectX for me. There you go. And we need to click on this button. There. Great. And I'm going to put this at 5 and 5. Cool. Now on the latest Maya 2022, the material also has some properties that look like it's rendering nicely. Same thing there. Okay, also on the brick wall. Okay. And to better display this, I'm going to create a cube lighting. Okay, so that we have everything lit, and so that we can see how things are being lit. So I'm going to create this cube lighting rig setup, and you don't see any difference. That's because we need on top here to enable the lighting. So you see now it reflects how powerful the lights are. Okay, and we can start like this one with a double click and increase the exposure, and you see that things start changing. Okay, so something like that. Let's select them manually, it's just easier. Okay, so let's increase and then the exposure. All right. Now you can also increase the size, which will in turn increase the power of our lights. You may want to move away. Oops. And maybe rotate a little so it lightens up the scene a little bit better. And you can see that the lighting actually affects the material, and you can see things well. Now if we do a quick render from Arnold and render view, we see that we are actually rendering a pretty similar result to what we see in the preview viewport. So let's do like this. It's similar, but of course this is quite better. Okay, so now to demonstrate the point on this side here, on the rim, I'm going to select all of the faces so that we have all of the faces selected along the rim. And I'm going to assign to it, using create on selection, only to those faces the third material that we have, the concrete. So let's do a select DirectX. Object mode, you see that the material has changed. This will need quite a lot more repetitions. And now, as you can see with this button, when we select the object, we have two materials attached to it, and we will see the material. And also the script also renames the material, so it's updating, and things are more easily recognizable. Concrete material is this one on the bottom. So I'm gonna put like 15 and 15 so that it is a little bit more sensitive here. Okay. And we can try a quick render. And you see that things are being attached. Materials have been assigned correctly, and things are way easier to use and set up. Just a few clicks away and you get the desired results. Now we want to export these presets. Okay, so I'm going to take this one here, and I will start with a export shading network. Export completed, and I'm going to export this one too. Okay. Now all of these materials will be stored indefinitely until you decide to delete them, with everything that's needed for the creation of that material. So you can even delete the original textures. Okay, so if we go into the Maya folder, in our case, now we have a new folder here called MayaStar Shaders. And in here you can see that we have the brick materials, the concrete materials, and the Koto tile materials stored here with an MB file that you can re-import along with the textures that have not been moved from the original location. They have been copied over here. Okay, so that then you can clean up things, and these presets that you have stored here will never suffer of missing or lost textures somewhere on your hard drive. So this is a safety measure to always have them working in working order. So I'm going to create a new scene. I'm going to create a couple more cubes. Actually 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to import the shading network. And this new window appears. Let's start with the brick materials. Import. Would you like to apply this new material to your current selection? Yes. Hit 6. And you see that the whole preset have been restored, including the rotation, including the number of repetitions. Let's take a closer look to it. 3 repeats on U and V, and rotate UV has been preserved. Then I'm going to do the same thing with this one, concrete material. Yes, and then on this one too, I'm going to import the Kodo, and yes, there we go. And yeah, let's take a look at the hypershade. Let's grab these two. We have 2 materials. This is the Koto tiles. 5 repetitions, exactly as we have set it earlier. And this other material, okay, 15 repetitions, exactly as we did before, which of course will let you change the thing in your new scene where you're going to use it. Okay, and that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.